Good morning, everyone. How are you doing today? I don't normally do two scheduled live events in a day. Actually, this is the first time in the 2.5 years of this channel. But of course, as I mentioned on the daily financial news, what I wanted to do today is share with you five crazy, outlandish predictions about the real estate investing landscape in 2021. Now, to be clear, I think the chances of all five of these things happening are zero. However, I think the chances of at least one or two of these happening are probably pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and share with you my five crazy real estate investing predictions for 2021. Do me a favor, listen and comment below which one you think is most likely and least likely. Again, there will be five, and I want to hear from you which one you think is most likely and least likely. It'll be very interesting to see a cross section of the world that is now watching one rental at a time and see where you all are. I have created videos on lots of topics that push buttons, and let's see what happens in this one. But before we get started, let me see if I can do this correctly. My little puppy, you may have heard him already, whining a little bit. He wants to say hi, just so you know where that whine is coming from. This is Jimbo. He's 15 and a half, and he's fun, but he's been a real pain this morning. But we love him. And then second, this is kind of a holiday prediction, so I want to do this right. I want to have a little fun. Oh, Jimbo, let me put this on. Okay. All right. So again, five crazy predictions. What I want to hear from you is most likely, least likely. You ready? Here we go. Number one, I think San Francisco declares Chapter 9 bankruptcy in 2021. I've done a couple of videos on San Francisco the last few days, and a couple of people have commented Detroit 2.0. So much so that I had to go look it up. And I'll probably do a video on it because I got a pretty good page of notes. But in essence, Detroit, Michigan, currently is the largest municipality ever to go bankrupt. And they leveraged something called Chapter 9 bankruptcy. They went bankrupt with $18.5 billion in debt. This debt was owed to over 100,000 creditors. I don't know what San Francisco's debt burden is, but boy, I guarantee you it's more than 18.5 billion. Well, I don't know. Guarantee? Yeah, it's got to be more than San Francisco. So, prediction number one. Again, remember, what is most likely and least likely? I would love to hear from you below. San Francisco goes bankrupt in 2021. What I think is going to happen is either you agree with that one or you disagree, and I'm going to get hate either way. But that's okay. Number two, crazy real estate investing prediction is I believe the 30-year mortgage could see a low below 2% and a high of 3.5% all next year. What that obviously means, if you're really reading the tea leaves, is we continue the trend downward this year into next. At some point, maybe mid next year, maybe just touch past mid next year, what will happen is inflation will become a reality. We will have consecutive quarters of GDP growth north of 5, 6, 7%. And the Fed is going to be painted into a corner, and they're going to have to raise interest rates. That is, again, a crazy and outlandish prediction. Again, a range on the 30-year that is 1.5%. Call it sub 2 all the way up to 3.5%. If that is true, it will obviously have impact on real estate. You need to run your numbers, all of that stuff. Again, pretty crazy. Number three, this one's important. I think this one's meaningful. If you've watched me for any length of time, you know I believe in home ownership. I believe for the second time in the U.S. history, we will see home ownership above 70%. We saw it slightly in the bubble, but that was fake. The last 2% of that home ownership should never have happened. They were liar loans. They were, people making 40K that said they made 400. We were really taking from the renter pool in a bad and unsafe manner, and we paid the price years after. I believe what we are seeing now is a generational shift. Millennials were already incrementally buying in 18 and 19, and I believe 2020 was a watershed moment. This is going to be interesting because, again, I think they are leaving the cities. I think they are work from home. I think we are seeing this generational shift. So I believe home ownership exceeds 70% as we exit 2021. Again, that will be the second time since they've been tracking that number. And I believe that is important. I believe home ownership is a forced savings and likely the best savings for most people. Number 4, this one I've actually shared before and I stand by it. It goes against a lot of the YouTube entertainers out there. And that is nationally speaking, I believe home prices are up double digits next year. If you've been watching the numbers the last few months, they've been over 14%. I think it was 14.8 and 15.5. I don't think we stay at those levels, and those are ridiculous. But I believe for the year, nationally speaking, we see double digits, which means 10% or above. Yes, some cities, a la San Francisco, a la New York, could see price declines. Orlando could see price declines. Las Vegas could see price declines. Although, as I shared yesterday, those cities that are service-based, travel-based, I don't think are going to be as negatively impacted. I believe the hedge funds, the deep pocket, that trillions of dollars sitting out there as dry powder gets deployed, and they take discounts that you and I wouldn't, as we need more margin of safety. But again, I'm going to predict number 4, national housing market is up 10% or greater. And then number 5, got to throw something out there for Las Vegas. I talk to Brian Lebo every month. Actually talked to him yesterday. Let's just say November Vegas numbers are amazing. I don't want to steal his thunder. He's actively creating his video, so check his channel out, the Lebo Group. Or Brian, the Lebo Group. But he'll be on my channel probably next week, and we will talk about the numbers in Vegas. But here's my guess for Las Vegas. I'm going to guess the population, and this is crazy. Again, these are all supposed to be crazy and outlandish. I think the population in Vegas increases by 10%. Basically, the exit from high-priced states is real. I believe the Strip, I believe conventions, I believe all of that comes back maybe next summer and builds and builds and builds. And I believe the population in Vegas is up. I believe that will support some of the market. And again, I don't see Vegas having the big crash that I thought it would, because I think Cal exit, New York exit buffers that a little bit. I think the economy in Vegas turns around starting late spring, early summer. And again, I think population is a big deal. Check the U-Haul rates, LA to Las Vegas, and then Vegas to LA. Remarkable. So that's what I have for you. Again, real quick, my 5 predictions, and I'd love to hear what you think is most likely and least likely. Leave comments below once I stop recording. First, San Francisco goes Chapter 9 bankruptcy, beating Detroit for the largest bankruptcy of a municipality ever. 30-year mortgage sees a low below 2% and a high of 3.5%, which is a pretty good variance for a 12-month period. Home ownership ticks above 70%. Currently, it's about 68%. Home price value, again, nationally is double digits, so north of 10%. And then Las Vegas sees a population growth of 10% plus. Again, all very crazy. There's zero chance all 5 of those happen. Could one of them happen? Yeah, maybe. Could 2? Maybe. Probably not 3, though. These are all pretty crazy. So let me know what you think. This was a lot of fun putting this together. Have a wonderful day and happy holidays. Bye.